Inventory. At least they got rid of the idea of this being a fucking drawer. Hey, look, there's a gun. At least they got rid of the idea of this actually being a fucking drawer. This should have always been hit this button and then give us our inventory screen that we are used to. Like, the inventory screen we have right now isn't perfect, but it's very usable for the intended design purpose. None of what that drawer menu was usable or functional. I have lots to say in general on the inventory. I don't think this should be like Tarkov, and I don't think we need to have 1,000 fucking med guns and 20 fucking thousand sets of the same armor. I think that we should be able to ensure items that we find and then get them back on a claim kiosk, like our actual subscriber item flare. I think that if we find a special gun or anything, that we should be able to pay a premium to always have access to that gun if we die. That's what I think the inventory system should be like. I don't think anybody wants to have 5,000 different fucking medical guns because they just keep piling up and there's no delete all or stack all feature. I think there should be a medical gun or a couple that we can always have accessible anywhere because we have them insured to our character, NPC, person, DNA, whatever the fuck it is. Anywhere we die or come back to, we should be able to claim them from a kiosk. That's what I think. You have the functional drawer, however, it needs to be functional. I haven't played a bit, so it shows a change. I think they should allow the items to stack too. No more 50 sets. No, like, I don't even want that. I want the one set. I don't want 50 of them. I want to insure the one and then use the one. I didn't fucking farm out 12 sets of epic gear in World of Warcraft. I farmed out the one set of 8 of 8 pieces of Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3, right? Those are the only 8 pieces that I ever need. I didn't need to get 6 arms or 6 legs, right? I always had access to those. Now, obviously, I didn't die and drop my shit, but there needs to be an insurance system that ties all of it together to where you don't need to have that much crap. The item bloat is insane right now. Well, exploit it? How? How? If they have claimed it once and it exists in the world, then they can't claim it again. That's the whole point of the insurance. It's not like, you know, oh, claim it again. If they claim it, if they do it through this system, right, it's not completely different than the ship system and how that works, right? It needs to literally be, you claim it, wherever that version is, if it hasn't been destroyed, it disappears. That's how that system works, and that's how it should work for subscriber flare, because yes, then people can just print armor and items for other people and let them wear it. You think about the cost of I don't care about the PTU, I can't play it, so VR is blocked with the new EAC update, so none of that really matters to me. I will not be able to play it at all once they go live, except for Arena Commander, so don't give a shit, unfortunately. Sorry if I feel a little bit angry and upset, but you might understand why. I would love nothing more than to check out all the new HUDs and shit and ships and things in the PTU, but I can't. I can only do Arena Commander. So that's why I'm here. I'm actually enjoying the game while I can. So thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching and flying with me. I really appreciate it, because this might be the end of days soon enough. Until we get a whitelist, which is more and more than I think about it and time goes by unlikely for the way Vorpex works. Or if CIG actually get VR working internally. No, 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 no! God! Come on, little doggy! I got a lasso around him. God damn it, we lost it. It's not persistent, it poofs. It's not. I don't give a shit. You're insuring it for a video game in an MMO. Who the fuck gives a shit if it's persistent at that point? You want it to be coming back. You are paying a premium for it to come back. At that point, game systems need to take over. Like, this is what I keep saying is, who the fuck gives a shit about immersion, persistence, and any of that when you are playing an MMO that you are going to be sinking many, many, many hours and times and days and months and years of your life into, depending on how good that MMO is, right? There needs to be as few obstacles as possible to letting us actually play that MMO. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Guess that's something people defer on. I like realism and persistence rather than paid on. But okay, it doesn't matter what you like. It matters what the massive populations are going to like and pay for. CIG is tapped out on money from its fans, okay? They're not making way more money than they are every year. They are about basically plateauing on funds. They need new people to come into the foray. New people are not going to put up with bullshit. New people want a functional game that they can actually sink their time into and play. Don't get me wrong, man. I love realism and all that shit next to the next person, but if we want this fucking game to exist and actually have 100 fucking star systems and actually be an MMO and play it for decades, then it needs money to support the server cost of those millions of people. If they need to do that, then they need a game that people are going to buy into. If they haven't said anything, so anything else other than what they have said previously is hearsay, but the original plan was that they are not going to sell supporter ships or concept ships anymore. It'll just be starter packs, medium packs, and like maybe a big capital ship pack for a whale. After that, if you want to grind out any ship or buy ship, you have to use in-game money. If you want to skip that, you can pay CIG and go to their website and buy the money yourself. The end goal was to never charge monthly for the MMO. One flat fee and done. If you want to pay for credits, they will allow that. The problem is that CIG is going to have to undercut the people who sell it illegally on eBay in order to actually make a profit. So, if all of that is still the case, right, and that is their actual funding model, then they need millions and millions of people to play this. Not a couple 100,000. They need straight up WoW and Final Fantasy 14 levels of player base. They need them consistently buying game accounts and maybe thinking about buying money off the website and skins and other shit like that and cosmetics so that they can actually fund the servers that are required to actually do this. And that's just server cost. That's not even getting into developing the 99 other fucking systems that need to be built. Functional game isn't SC. Yes, I agree. But yeah. I was going to say paint and currency, exactly. Well, see, that's the problem. That's not my problem. That's CIG's. They're the ones who say they don't want to charge monthly for the MMO. They want it to be a one-time payment and that they want to make money off of selling currency and skins. That's not my fucking problem to solve. That's theirs. They have, until they say otherwise, though, that is the plan. Anything else to say, oh, they're never not going to sell concept ships or they're never not going to do this, that's hearsay. That is hearsay and conjecture and, you're just, thinking aloud what you hope and what you, assume. Until CIG comes out and states what their actual goals and intents are, everybody is just assuming anything. So, until they actually come out and say anything other than that, we have to go off of their word. As stupid as that is, that's the only thing we can do because, like I said, anything else is just conjecture. You're just assuming. I agree, though, with all the conjecture. There's no way they're not going to sell concept ships. There's no way they're not going to keep selling. That's their fucking bread and butter. That's the only thing they've ever known is $40 for a fucking Atlas. And take what they seriously when someone got in their head with no proof or validation. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I definitely agree with them. Like, I'm not saying that they're not wrong, but it still is what it is, conjecture, It's not coming from CIG. We're just assuming that they're gonna sell ships in the future because how could they not? So yeah, maybe we'll start to know more when they have the road to 1.0. It's one thing I've always been worried about SC. When the player base is tapped out, how much is the money? It comes in with Squadron 4. They know. CIG knows it's tapped. They know they have to get new players. That's why they know they need server meshing in 4.0 to at least get new funding in, because all the players that are big fans have bought their ships. They can't get 4.0 out. They're basically underwater at this point. They have to drop Squadron 42. Squadron 42 has to be good, and it has to be a great single-player campaign that makes people curious about trying the beta MMO world that the single-player game is based off of. Squadron 42 basically has to save the company because they have missed out on their 4.0 deadlines. Nobody's getting server meshing this year. Maybe. I don't know. They say EVO 4.0 test, but I'll see it when I fucking believe it. Like, I highly doubt we get fucking EVO by CitizenCon for 4.0. That'd be impossible, it feels. There's no way the server meshing tests went that well enough to have Pyro and Stanton in the same place. There's no way. But yeah, that's the whole thing, Ludice. Like, it takes a lot of money to get where we are, and it's going to be even more money to keep going. And the more people that start playing and keep playing Star Citizen, the more server costs are going to be. So, they have to get server meshing up and running before the big, gigantic wave of more people comes in. Because that's going to technically help the costs. They even spent the money so far there. The game was originally going to be loading instances on planets and loading zones. Some dude spent, like, 6 months in a closet and found a way to seamlessly load from planet orbit all the way down to the surface. Once Chris Roberts saw that, alright, the whole game needs to be like this. So, they had to refactor the entire engine. That was like 4 or 5 years after development had already started. From there, the server meshing and all that other stuff became possible. And then it just grew in scope, connecting it to this new methodology of not using a load screen and an actual load landing zone, but building actual full-scale planets. With the advent of full planets, they couldn't use skyboxes, so they actually had to get planetary building tech teams and tech. That's basically where the money went. They would have never had to hire 300 or 400 planetary artists and tech people and river makers and stuff if they didn't actually have to make full planets. It would have just been landing zones that they could have doctored up, and it would have been just like every other game that says it was a space game. Out there that do that now, and see the extra cost, but still crazy compared to what's out there. Well, they're running off of a bespoke engine and not using something that has been tried and true for decades and decades, or is proprietary software that they're renting from another company that is sole purpose is to make engines that are easy to use. It is Lumberyard is their own custom thing that is amalgamated into a huge, I don't want to say crappy, but it's very bespoke and extremely custom. No other system is like it, and neither are the tools. It's not like you're going to come from Unreal and be able to instantly, code and create assets for Star Citizen. You have to get used to Star Engine, and there's so much to Star Engine. And it's not like they've had other people, on pause. They've been paying lore teams and artists and other stuff to just be making reams and reams of data that they're just storing away for later when they can get to it. Combine that with building an entire new studio in England with full state-of-the-art mocap technology, and that being the basis of Squadron 42 and all your single-player stuff. That costs a lot of money, but they are ready to go in the future to make sequels and all sorts of other side games using Star Engine now. It doesn't have to be Squadron 42 that comes out next. We could literally get A Pirate's Tale. And it'll be some sort of side game where you're a bounty hunter. Literally, they could do anything they want now that they have Star Engine functional, these studios up and running, and a successful working IP with Squadron 42. The sky's the limit. They just have to get Squadron 42 out the door. Really, that becomes the linchpin now. Server meshing is important, and 4.0 is great, but the game needs new audience and new money, and you get that through Squadron 42. And you prove that you can actually make something worth a damn to the people at large who have yet to buy your product. Not the fans who are going to buy whatever shit you charge at $40 for a fucking, goddamn Atlas. Those aren't the people that you need to impress with this game. God damn it, I need that ramp down. The people you need to impress with are the people who have yet to buy it. That's basically the whole point. What's up, Slippy Fist? So, that's my rant on that.